we'll just get a bit of housekeeping and stuff out of the way with in terms of injuries and the light. How are the likes of Raphael shaping up after the weekend?
We're still waiting on Raf getting a scan at Bristol City, so we're not sure whether he'll be available yet. Obviously, he's not our player, so we need to be guided by City on that one. So yeah, we won't know until probably in the morning whether he's fit enough to travel.
And defensively, it'd be fair to say you had a few issues this week in terms of selection.
If you'd have told me sort of a week, 10 days ago, we'd lose Morgan Williams, Jake Wannell, Alex Whittle, Raphael Ariai and Harvey Greenslade, I'd have said, wow, we're in a bit of a pickle there, but I've got faith in the boys we've got, and if we have to shuffle things about, we can. We've got Michael Smith can play centre-half, Charlie Cooper can play centre-half, Worthy can play right-back, so we've got plenty of flexibility in the squad.
You were kind of hoping maybe Alex Whittle might be back. Sounds like maybe, is that still in the balance?
No, we're confident Witts will be there or thereabouts for Saturday. He's had a good week's training, so whether, but I'm sure knowing Witts, he'll want to put his hand up to play.
And I'm equally sure that you'll have been exploring options in terms of bringing players in. Anything close there?
We're trying. I mean, the things, I could probably brought 100 players in on loan, but I want to, for the sake of one game, we get Wannell back on Tuesday night. Raf probably back. So I don't want to just for one game go and bring the wrong person in. If I do bring somebody in, it has to be the right type and the right character and the right fit for what we do.
And I think most fans would say absolutely 100%. Yeah. Is that something that becomes easier with the experience that you've got, not sort of putting yourself in situations you might regret through a little bit of panic?
Yeah, I think the consensus would be let's go and get a player, just because we might not have a certain type of player on Saturday. But as a coach, you have to try and find a way around it and try, if we have to do something different, we do that. But it's for one game, and we can manage, and I know we'll give a really good account of ourselves in the way we try and play, whoever plays.
And in terms of the market in general, are there options out there in terms of, not for this weekend, but coming weeks, are you fairly hopeful you'll get roughly what you're after?
I think so. I think the issue is where there's some boys that are players that are who are out of contract before the window shut, which means they're a free agent and they're still exploring the Football League market because they can still sign for those clubs because they were out of contract before the window. So we're waiting on a couple of those boys that we think we'd get real value for money for, would really help and really improve us or make us better, rather than going for quick loan fixes that probably have not been out on loan yet, not played many games. So we're prepared to wait in that market and hopefully in the next week there'll be a couple of real bits of quality that come available.
Okay, well that'll be good news when it arrives. One outgoing this week with Jordan Maguire having his contract cancelled. Just talk me through the thinking there.
Yeah, Jordan made it clear towards the end of last season that he wanted to move back to the southeast. His new wife had got her job was towards Brighton way, Crawley way, and he wanted to be local to that, and he didn't want to be travelling. He didn't want to be in Yeovil, so it was a case of trying to find the best solution for him, and it was purely about location.
Okay. You've had 6 games at National League level now. You've had a good mix of teams, some of the teams that are up there at the moment and some that have struggled so far. What have you made of the level? It's not that long since you were at it, but it can change pretty quickly.
Yeah, we made a solid start. Frustrating for us because I think we should have more points. Anyone that saw the Rochdale game and the Hartlepool game and the Gateshead game would say we should have had points out of those games, but that's football, and we have to garner that ruthless edge in both ends of the pitch, and we did that on Saturday. We weren't probably as good as we've played, but we were more ruthless in the top half of the pitch, and we managed to only concede 1 to their 3. So it's about trying to foster that, and it's not something that just happens. You have to gather that ruthless edge, that spirit that means that we're not gonna We could have easily conceded more goals last week, but we managed to get blocks in at the right times and tackles in at the right times. And if we continue with our spirit and we start to believe or keep believing, we add the ones we want to, and I think we'll be all right. We've had a good look at it, and we should have got some at Gateshead. They're flying. And in the games we lost, I don't think we should have lost any, but there'll be loads of teams that said we should have got more points, and it's ifs, buts, maybes. We're happy with where we are, but we know we've got an awful lot more to give.
Yeah, because you talk about developing that ruthless edge, and I think so much of this is in the minds of the players. A lot of them have played at this level, some of them have played higher than that, but until you go and you start facing teams in this division, you don't know, do you?
No. And I think if you ask the players, I'm constantly pushing them and trying to poke them and provoke them into getting that you deserve to be here kind of mentality and aura about you. We're starting to get a little bit of swagger about us, which when you play like we do, you have to have a bit of an arrogant swagger about you on the pitch. Then when you come off it, you're the nicest person in the world. And I'm starting to see that, and we need to have that. And the quicker we get that as a group, which we had last year, the better we'll be.
So a fairly hefty trip for you this weekend. The Fylde, Lancashire coast is never a welcoming place, even at this time of year. What are you expecting there?
Tough game. They will be really organised. I know the manager. They'll be ultra fit. They'll be ultra organised. They'll have something up their sleeve. They will have a real process to what they do. They've got some good players. The number 10, Horton, is an exceptional player for the level. Probably should be playing league football, and they've got one or two others, and we'll have to be really good at what we do. I've had a look at the weather forecast. The south part of the country is rain, and the north part of the country is 23 degrees. So we're taking our buckets, spades. We've got our money ready for the donkey rides. So we're looking forward to having a Friday afternoon or night in Blackpool and getting ready for the game on Saturday.
Thank you very much.